Let us discuss the next pattern of questions. So whatever we are going to discuss now, these questions are based upon person leaving. But the concept whatever we have applied earlier, again the same concept we are going to apply. Nothing difference in this. Okay. Let us look at the question. The average height of 27 persons was recorded as 162 centimeters. If the height of Shreya was deleted from the observations, the average height reduces by 1 centimeter. What was Shreya's height? We are supposed to find what is Shreya's height. Very simple question. Observe here carefully. Initially, how many persons are there? 27 persons. Now, for these 27 persons, what is the average height? Average height is 162 centimeters. Now, later what happened? If Shreya's height was deleted, then initially 27, now it is going to be only 26. Now, due to this, what happened? Average height reduces by 1. Average height reduces by 1 means initially it is 162. Now, it is going to be 161. Reason, it is reduced by 1. Now, you are supposed to find what is height of Shreya. Okay. Go with the same concept whatever we have discussed earlier. Left hand side difference is -1. Right hand side difference is -1. Now calculate. Left hand side difference multiplied with right hand side bottom number. Now it is going to be -1 into 161 is nothing but -161. Similarly, right hand side difference multiplied with left hand side top number. It is going to be -27. Now when you calculate this, it is going to be -188. As I have told you earlier, you can neglect this negative value and you can say just answer as 188. So we can say that Shreya height is nothing but 188 centimeters. Okay, as simple as that, nothing difference. Whatever the concept we have discussed earlier, the same concept you are going to use. The only difference is finally if you are getting a negative value, just neglect the negative value and you need to just say the number. So my number is nothing but 188. Okay, let us look at the next question. The average weight of 25 students is 52 kg. When one student left the group, average weight becomes 53 kg. Then find weight of left student. We are supposed to find the weight of left student. Look here, in this question there are 25 students initially. Now these 25 students average weight is how much? 52 kg. Now one student left. One student left means now it is going to be 24 students. Now these 24 students average weight became how much? 53 kg. Now our question is to find what is the weight of left students. Okay, let us calculate using the same concept whatever we had discussed earlier. Left hand side difference is how much? -1. Right hand side difference is how much? +1. Now left hand side difference multiplied with right hand side bottom number. -1 into 53 is nothing but -53. Similarly, right hand side difference multiplied with left hand side top number. So +25. So we can say that it is going to be -28. In -28, already I have told you, you need to neglect the negative value. If you neglect the negative value, we can say that weight is nothing but 28 kg. Okay, very simple. Go with the concept whatever we have discussed earlier. But the thing is like, read the question carefully. Understanding the question is like really important. Once if you are able to understand the question, you can solve these questions very easily. And don't forget, practice is very important to get these questions application in examination. If you need to apply it in examination, you need to practice a lot and you need to write mock examinations also. You need to practice them a lot. You need to understand the question as early as possible. Understanding the question is like a key role in competitive examinations. Okay, let us look at the next question. What is the next question? There are 50 students in a class. Their average weight is 45 kg. When one student leaves the class, the average weight reduces by 100 grams. What is the weight of student who left the class? Now simple question, even this one. Initially there are how many students? 50 students. Now for this 50 students, average weight is how much? 45 kg. Now one student left. One student left means you will have total 49 students. For these 49 students, what happened to average? Average reduces by 100 grams. Yes or no? Now 100 grams is nothing but how much? 0.1 kg. Yes or no? Here it is in terms of kg, so I am writing in terms of kg. Now 45 minus 0.1. Why? Because it is reduced. So it is going to be 44.9. 44.9 kg. Now you are supposed to find what is the weight of student who left. Simple. Take left hand side difference. Left hand side difference is how much? -1. Right hand side difference is nothing but -0.1. So calculate. -1 into 44.9 is nothing but -44.9. Similarly, -0.1 into 50 is nothing but -5. Now it is going to be -49.9. Yes or no? So neglect the negative value and you can say answer is 49.9 kg, which is option 3. Okay, very simple question. Just read the question carefully and go with the concept of left hand side difference, right hand side difference. Okay, let us look at your next question. The average age of 36 students of a class is 27 years. When a student leaves the class, the average increased by 3 months. The age of student who left the class. We are supposed to find the age of student who left the class. Look here, initially how many students are there? 36 students are there. Now this 36 students average weight is how much? Average age. Now this 36 students average age is 27 years. When a student leaves the class, when student leave the class means now it is going to be only 35 students. Then what happened? Average age increased by 3 months. Now initially it is 27 years. Now it is going to be 27 years 3 months. Yes or no? Why? Because it is increased by 3 months. So what is the reason? 27 years 3 months. Your question is to find the age of student who left the class. Go with the same technique whatever we have discussed earlier. Left hand side difference is -1. Right hand side difference is plus 3 months. Calculate it. Left hand side difference multiplied with right hand side bottom number. Now it is going to be -27 years 3 months. Yes or no? -27 year 3 months. Similarly, right hand side difference multiplied with left hand side top number. So it is going to be plus 36 years, 36 into 3 months. Yes or no? 36 into 3 months. Now what I need to do? I need to convert this months in terms of years. As I need to convert this months in terms of years, now I need to divide it by 12. When I divide it by 12, then what happened? Months will be converted in terms of years. 36 cancels in 12. How many times? 3 times. So 3 into 3 is nothing but 9, which means 9 years. So it is going to be -27 years 3 months plus 9 years. When you calculate this, it is going to be -18 years 3 months. Just neglect the negative value. If you neglect the negative value, you can say it as 18 years 3 months, which is like option 3. And look here, I am simplifying all this just for the purpose of understanding. But in examination point of view, you need not simplify all this calculation. Once if you are good in calculation, you can make this calculation much faster. But as the reason each and everyone should understand, that is the reason I am simplifying it. Okay, let us look at your next question. The average marks obtained by 40 students of a class is 86. If 5 highest marks are removed, the average reduces by 1 mark. The average marks of top 5 students. We are supposed to find the average of top 5. Look here, initially how many students are there? 40 students. Now these 40 students average marks. Average marks is how much? 40 students average is like 86. Now what happened? If the 5 highest marks are removed, out of this 40, if top 5 are removed means you will have only 35. Then what happened? Then what happened is average reduces by 1. So average is going to reduce by 1, which means new average is going to be 85. Now your question is to find the average marks of top 5. Simple. Go with the same concept. Difference is how much? Difference is -5. Left hand side difference -5, right hand side difference -1. Left hand side difference multiplied with right hand side bottom number. So it is going to be -85 into 5. Similarly, right hand side difference multiplied with left hand side top number. It is going to be -1 into 40. Yes or no? Now this is nothing but sum of total 5. Now you are asked to find the average of top 5. As you need to calculate average, you need to divide it by 5. Okay. Now what I am doing is like to make the calculation simple, I am writing 40 as 5 into 8. Okay, I'm writing 40 as 5 into 8. Now cancel here. 5 in 5 cancels one time. 5 in 5 cancels one time. Now it is going to be minus 85 minus 8. Now it is going to be minus 93. So neglect the negative value and you can say answer is just 93, which means the average marks of the top 5 students is nothing but 93 marks. Okay, very simple question. Don't forget, while you're calculating this, if you get a final negative value, neglect the negative value. Next one, the average weight of a certain number of students in a group is 72 kg. If 10 students having an average weight of 78 kg leave and 4 students having an average weight of 80 kg join the group, the average weight of the students is decreased by 0.7 kg. The number of students initially in the group. So we're supposed to find how many students are there initially. Okay, let us look at this. Initially, let us example there are n students. Okay, initially there are n students. For these n students, what is the average? It seems for this n students, average is nothing but 72 kg. Okay, 72 kg. Now what happened? Question is saying like if 10 students having an average weight of 78 kg. So there are 10 students whose average weight is like 78 kg. So 10 students whose average weight is 78 kg and they are going to leave, it seems. So these 10 students are going to leave. So 10 students whose average weight is 78 kg leaves and 4 students having an average weight of 80 kg. And there are like 4 students, they are going to join, it seems. They are going to join whose average weight is like 80 kg. Now due to this, what happened? Average weight of group of students decreased by 0.7 kg. Now your question is to find number of students initially, which means you are supposed to find the value of n. Okay, let us calculate this. If you observe here, initial average is 72, but when 10% are leaving, what happened? They are going with 78, which is more. How much more? How much more means 6 more. Okay, 6 more. They are taking 6 extra and they are leaving. How many students are leaving? 10 such students are leaving. They are taking 6 extra and 10 such students are leaving. That is the reason as they are leaving, it is going to be minus 6 into 10. Okay, why? Because 10 students are leaving and they are taking 6 extra. Why? Because average is 72 but they are taking 78. As they are taking 6 extra and they are leaving, that is the reason minus 6 into 10. Okay, now if you look here, this is like 80 and these guys are joining, and if you look here, this is 72 but this is 80, which is like 8 more. As it is 8 more and these guys are joining, as these guys are joining, you need to add them. Now you need to add them. So plus 8 for how many students? For how many students means 4 students. Okay, now if you are going to simplify, this is going to be minus 60 plus 8 4 times, it is going to be 32. Okay, now if you are going to simplify this one, it is going to be minus 28. So neglect this and you can say just 28, which means I got a difference of 28. Due to this 28 difference, what happened? Average decreases by 0.7. Average decreases by 0.7. So due to this 28 difference, average decreases by 0.7 means total how many persons are there means total number of persons are like 40. Yes or no? Why? Because due to this 28 difference, average decreases by 0.7. As average decreases by 0.7 means each and every person decreases by 0.7, 0.7, 0.7. So total how many persons are there means 40. But what is your question? Your question is like how many students are there initially, but these 40 students are now, not initially. Initially how many students are there means, look here in the question it is said like 10 students left. Yes or no? 10 students left. And how many students joined? Look here, 10 students are leaving and 4 students are joining, which means I am going to have a difference of 6. Yes or no? I am going to have a difference of 6. Why? Because 10 students left and 4 students join. When 10 students leave and 4 students join, I am getting 6 less. Yes or no? Which means after leaving 6 students, it is 40. But your question is like how many students are there initially? How many students are there initially means 40 plus 6. We can say that initially there are 46 students, which is like option 2. Okay, is this point clear with everyone? Now I got 28 difference when after 10 students leaving and 4 students joining. Yes or no? Then it is like 40. Now question is like how many persons are there initially? How many persons are there initially means 10 students left and 4 students joined, which means I am getting 6 students less, but initially there are 6 students more. That is the reason you need to add that 6. 40 plus 6, you can say that answer is like 46. Okay. Next question. There are 42 students in a hostel. If the number of students increased by 7, then the expenses of the mess increased by rupees 32.5 per day, while the average expenditure per day diminishes the meaning is like decreases by rupees 1.5. Find the original expenditure of the mess. We need to find what is their original expenditure, not average. He is asking about expenditure. Okay, look here. So total how many students are there? 42 students. Now these 40 students are there in a hostel. If number of students increased by 7, which means now it is going to be 49 as number of students increased by 7. Now due to this what happened? Expenses of the mess increased by rupees 32.5. Expenses increased by 32.5. Okay, 32.5 per day. While the average expenditure per day diminishes by 1.5, which means if average is initially n, now the average is diminished or decreased by 1.5. Okay, which is like minus 1.5. Now you are supposed to find the original expenditure. Okay, now go with the concept of left hand side difference, right hand side difference. Left hand side difference multiplied with right hand side bottom number. Now it is going to be 7 into n minus 1.5. Similarly, right hand side difference multiplied with left hand side top number. It is going to be minus 1.5 into 42. Now this value is equal to how much? 32.5. Yes or no? Now calculate this one. It is going to be 7n minus 10.5 minus 63 is equal to 32.5. Okay. Now when you are going to simplify this one, 7n is equal to, now this 10.5 go to the other side, then it is going to be how much? 32.5 plus 10.5 is nothing but 43. Now 43 plus 63. 43 plus 63 is nothing but 106, which means n is nothing but 106 divided by 7. Now if n is 106 divided by 7, now what is your question? Your question is like, what is the original expenditure? Original expenditure is like how much? Which means initial average expenditure is nothing but 106 by 7. But your question is not initial average. Your question is to find what is the total expenditure. Total expenditure how many means? Look here, total how many persons are there initially? Initially there are like 42 persons. So as there are 42 persons and average is 106 by 7 and the total number of students initially is 42. So 42 cancels in 7 how many times? 6 times. So we can say that answer is going to be 636, which means total expenditure initially expenditure is nothing but 636 rupees. Very simple question. Okay, just read the question carefully. If you read the question carefully, then solving this question will become really simple. Look here, either you can solve this question in this way, or else you can use the concept of equal distribution. If you use the concept of equal distribution, even then you can get the answer. Look here, this is not average, this is like total expenditure. Why? Because your question is asking about expenditure. But what we have found, this value, now this value is nothing but n. N means it is nothing but average. But the question is asking us expenditure. Expenditure means 42 into average value. That is the reason average value into 42. Then I got expenditure. Okay. Either you can solve in this way or you can solve in this way also. Look here. Initially what happened is average is n. And it is said that average is going to be reduced by 1.5 when 7 students are joined and when rupees extra 32.5 we are going to spend per day. Yes or no? Now if you look here, average reduced by 1.5. Average reduced by 1.5 means each and every person is reduced by 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, which means it is going to be 32.5. And I got how much less? How much less means 1.5 for total 49 students. 1.5 for total 49 students means what is 49 into 1.5? 49 into 1.5 is nothing but 49 plus half of 49. Half of 49 is nothing but 24.5. Yes or no? 24.5. Now this is going to be 63.5. Yes or no? Which means I got 63.5 less. If I add this 63.5, if I add this 63.5 here, then what happened? If I add this 63.5, it is going to be 96. Yes or no? 96. Yes or no? Did I make any calculation wrong here? Just observe here carefully once. Now this is like 49 into 1.5. 49 into 1.5 is nothing but 49, and half of 49. What is half of 49? 24.5. So 49 plus 24.5. Yes, I have done a mistake here. Look here. What is 49 and 24.5? It is going to be 73.5. Yes or no? 73.5. Which means it should be 73.5. Now this value is how much? This value is nothing but 106. Okay, 106. Which means I got a difference of 106. For how many percents? 7%. Yes or no? So then average would be 106 by 7. If average is 106 by 7, my question is to find the total expenditure. Yes or no? My question is find total expenditure. So into total, how many percents are there initially? 42. So when you calculate this, again you are going to get the same answer. 436 divided 436. Why? Because even if you observe here, 106 divided by 7 into 42. The same calculation you got here. Either you can get this using left hand side difference, right hand side difference, or else you can use the concept of equal distribution. If you use the concept of equal distribution, initially we have 32.5. So write that 32.5, and we got a difference of 1.5, which means average reduced by 1.5. As average reduced by 1.5, each and every person is reduced by 1.5. So total 49%. So 49 into 1.5, which is nothing but 73.5. So when you add both of them combined together, it is going to be 106, which means we are having a difference of 106. Yes or no? Now we need to find 106 for how many percents? 7%. So average means 106 divided by 7. Now this is like average, but the question is asking you what is the total expenditure. As total expenditure means we have total 42 students. So 42 into 106 divided by 7. When you simplify this, you are going to get answer as 636 rupees. Okay, very simple. But the only thing is like you need to understand the question clearly. Once if you are going to understand the question clearly, then solving these type of questions will become very simple. Okay.